What's up, Dragon Brood? So today we're doing something a little bit different. I normally keep this content over on Twitch separate from the content over on YouTube because some of you do follow me on both platforms, and some of you follow me on Twitter and Instagram and other places, and I appreciate it. But I like you to be able to get something different each time you encounter my content. But this time I'm doing something a little different. I was able to clip down parts of the stream from Twitch the other day, and I was playing a Gruul deck in the best of 3 ladder, and figured I'd put it over here so people could see some more Gruul action. I know I have a lot of people here on the YouTube channel that seem to not be able to get enough Gruul action, and you can kind of see some sideboard changes. And before we hop into that, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into some Gruul games. So, Magic's one of those crazy games, though. It's very easy to figure out the basic rules, but to get good at it takes a lot of understanding, and sometimes just getting a lot of reps in. And I tell people sometimes the best thing you can do with Magic is just learn how to be good with one deck or one deck type, and just play it to death till you understand it inside and out, and then move on to the next deck. There's too many people, I think, change decks all the time. We're going to go ahead and keep this. And I think they're doing themselves a disservice. I think they're trying to learn every single deck and learn every single strategy. And the problem is, it's almost like you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know, you spend all this time gathering all this knowledge, but ultimately you haven't given yourself the opportunity to perfect any of it. You hit diamond yesterday and saw a surprising amount of cycling. All right, I'll have to keep that in mind. Well, I'm above. Oh no, I'm not in diamond yet. I'm still in platinum this season, so good to know. What do I want to do here? I think I'm going to play this with a counter. There's a chance they're playing some type of weird blue-white control-ish thing, so I want to be able to turn off their Heartless Axe. I am willing to feed the opponent a Gruul Spellbreaker with a counter, because we'll at least get a card. And then the following turn, we're going to have a Questing Beast. Even if these end up dying, which they very well will. But I'm also aware of that, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Tinnock. I think that's fine, right? You start with the deck and you stick with it. Good for you. I think some people take that as an insult or whatever, but I think it's a smart thing to do. It's an efficient use of your time and resources. It's kind of like anything you do in real life, right? You're not going to keep skipping from skill to skill and job to job or whatever. You're going to try to master a thing and get the most out of it first. All right, which creature dies here? See, I knew something was up. There was no way they were all going to get through. Alright, this is good, though, because next turn, we can, even if these get swept, we can get in for at least 4 if we want to. Oh, well, we can almost just end the game. We can attack for 7, and then just shoot them on the following turn, unless they find a way to gain life. I mean, they could have, like, Erebos' Intervention or something. Well, we could play Pelt Collector, but I'm going to opt not to. Just with haste. Play this with haste. And this is the reason when I'm telling you guys, like, that I don't want something. Oh, hey, that's good. Don't want that Cry the Carnarium out there. This is the reason I don't want something like Paradise Druid or whatever, right? Because those type of turns can't happen. I think it's totally awesome. You know what? I'm going to bring in Gem Razor because I have a feeling this is one of those, like, what do you call it? The black-white enchantment that you have to sack something every turn. I think it's that type of deck. I'm going to cut a Bone Crusher Giant. We're going to be on the draw, so I'm going to cut a Robber of the Rich. I feel like a Ceratops could go. Maybe even both of them potentially, but I'm not going to do that. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel not good. I'm going to mulligan. I feel a lot better about this. Oh, my opponent apparently felt terrible about their hand. So, okay. So, this one... man, against an unknown opponent, I really want to keep it, but I'm going to mulligan anyway. Oh, that was a mistake. Alright, well, we're stuck with this now. Boy. Sadly, I think I have to let both of these go, and we'll just see what happens. This sucks, too, because Dragonfire is going to remove anything that Colossus would even have access to. I guess it kind of doesn't matter. My first hand would have been kind of bad against any type of blue-white control anyway. So that doesn't really do anything for us. Ugh, couldn't even find a haste creature to make me feel better. Dang it, deck. Alright, we're going to be going to game 2 pretty quick. Only you can prevent Grixis piles. Yep, sometimes it feels like that.
Mind and body.
Every new set is something Demir Grixis. I feel ya. Lancelot.
Meditate. Prepare.
What do I want to do here? I guess we just shoot Narset. I mean, just so you can't draw anything else.
You could use
I mean, we're not going to be drawing a lot of anything, so not really an issue. I mean, I guess here if they play Teferi, we can just shoot Teferi because of bounce this. I mean, I guess it's not awful. Oh, well, that's not Teferi at all. I guess we'll have to use the Scorching Dragonfire to get rid of an Elspeth. Not the way I intended to use any of these cards, opponents. Still gets the job done and keeps Elspeth from coming back, so that's nice. We're just going to get in there for 4. I mean, I'm not drawing any cards, so I don't care. Alright. Is this where we get our board swept? Nope. Elspeth conquers death. Sure. Well, the good news is there's nothing to go get back right now, so that's kind of awesome. No block. Oh, boy. Ugh. Well, I guess the best thing is I'll likely get a card off of it. Maybe it's something we can play. I don't know. Let's just... Well, we don't want to finish off Narset, because they'll just get it back in 2 turns with the Elspeth Conquers Death, so we don't want to do that. So one thing I watch people, I think they forget, is you'll kill the Planeswalker, and then 2 turns later you're having to deal with it again, and it's completely reset with more loyalty. So sometimes you just gotta let it sit, let the ECD go away, then kill the Planeswalker. As I said, I try to support good streamers. Well, I appreciate it a whole lot. Oh, this sucks. This means they probably have some type of, if I were guessing, probably mystical disputes. But at least if I play it, I could pay for mystical dispute here. Okay, so is this Omen of the Sun? Is that what's going on here? Again, we're not benefited attacking Teferi because I just get it back full speed, so... Alright, that doesn't do much, even if we could cast it. Alright, now we can attempt to kill Teferi and Narset, but there's a good chance they're just gonna get them back, or kill our stuff at instant speed. They can also make a token here, so we have to be aware of that. I feel like it got way harder to figure out what to attack. Yeah, that is a strategy you have to figure out. I mean, that's a real concern. Let's get rid of that, because we don't like those things. Alright. I don't necessarily want to just lay everything out, empty our hand, but... Yeah, figured that might be a thing, but kind of had to risk it. Mostly because getting around the token, you kind of had to have multiple attackers to make the situation work if we wanted to kill both Planeswalkers. Oh, that's going to be problematic for real. Oh, and helping. Well, we almost did it with a 5-card hand. Think we're in trouble here, team. Sure. Just play another Teferi? Yeah, exactly. Teferi's so dumb. Well, I guess that means they didn't find an enchantment. Oh, this is tough. Because we kind of need this in play. I mean, do we go with this? Probably gets countered. Nope. Alright. I would have rather this been a 4-4, but, I mean, we get the opportunity to kill the Teferi. I mean, I guess we got to do it.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Alright. Oh, that's real bad. Alright, well, we're done now. We can go to game 2. I have not played one of those, but I've heard they're real good. I can use Dragonfire against Planeswalkers, and that's a real thing. But we also like Ceratops in these fights. There's just too many good cards we want. Actually, Embercleaves suck in this fight, believe it or not. The only thing they really allow us to do is if they're playing Dream Trawler, sometimes you can get something small to punch past a Dream Trawler, and that's like the best you can do. I'm not opposed to just cutting a couple of Bonecrusher Giants. We're going to be on the play. You know what? I am kind of going to be out on the Giants, I think. Just go with the 1. I think that's what we want to do. Right? I'm always going to be playing probably one of 2 or 3 different decks that I have at the time for ranked games. That's about it. Alright, let's do it. Just put the pressure on the opponent early and see what happens. Alright, Birth of Meletus, cool. Interesting. I don't think we want any more land currently. We're looking for other things, deck. I really hate just rolling all my creatures out to just have them die in 2 turns, but you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do. What's funny is, as bad as I have Embercleave now, God, I wish I hadn't. Still just gonna attack the opponent. I'll go ahead and waste this, though they're probably just going to sweep the board next turn anyway. But we at least have a Spellbreaker to get them down to 6, so that's kind of... Oh, I guess technically down to 8, because they do gain 2 there. Alright, there's the Shatter. Right on time. And then we draw a Questing Beast. Close. Not quite, but close. I don't hate that. That is a good one. Now we just need to get one of those other untapped lands. Because depending on what they have... Oh, come on! Oh, we could have just ended the game there. Ugh. That was about to be so good. Alright. Alright. Well, what are we doing here, opponent? Alright, so the opponent's just waiting there. Favorite thing is taking your mouse hand turn, force me to think the whole turn. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, anything that can get you think about actions a little bit isn't bad. That's actually a pretty good play from the opponent. That life gain does matter here. And buys them a turn at a minimum. Alright, there's a Shadow of the Sky. Alright, now we need that land deck we've been waiting on. Not that. Okay, well, we're just going to play this out. It's a 4-4. I mean, we're technically on board to still have lethal if we draw an untapped land. There we go. We'll see what the opponent does. Make sure we don't misclick and we click haste. Alright, well, there the opponent got all their land drops. They didn't get any blue mana, obviously. So that wasn't really the way we wanted that game to turn out. I mean, we wanted to win. Things just didn't progress how we wanted. I'm going to sneak one of these Embercleaves back in here. And actually, being on the draw... the problem with Embercleave in this matchup, which is because people ask why did I only have 2 in my arena open list, is that there was so much Yorion, and constantly having to deal with Elspeth Conquers Death and Teferi that there's so many times you just never get to play Embercleave, either at instant speed or for less than like 5 mana. Alright, we're going to keep this. Sadly, I'm going to get rid of one Questing Beast. I do like turn 1 and 2 here, though, quite a bit. Silvervines is one of the best cards we can have in this matchup. Post sideboard, anyway. Because they play mostly spells, so there's a lot of times the Cindervine can account for 6 or 8 damage over the course of a game. Let's see if we can attack first. See if maybe, I don't know, get them to do something to the... Nope. Alright, well let's see if they have Aether Gust, because they probably do. Alright, they're reading it, obviously. And there's a Dova's Veto. So it wasn't an Aether Gust. Alright. Interesting that they left Veto in, because it's actually kind of bad against us, truthfully.
So many mysteries to uncover. I have just the trick for this.
We don't have very many things they can veto. But, good to know that those are in there, because there's a good chance they're going to have some dead cards against us. So I like knowing that. What do I want to do here? Alright. You're a sacrificial lamb, Spellbreaker. Just want you to know that. Let's do it. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be land,
Such violence is
Shatter the
upsetting.
Sky, then we play Questing Beast, it gets hit with Elspeth Conquers Death, and then the rest of the game happens. Oh, they didn't have it. Alright, cool. Well, that works. So we potentially get 10 damage in this turn? Oh, they're going to put 4s, though. That's disappointing. That's going to be real annoying for us. Because if they deal with this Questing Beast, we're not going to be able to punch past that unless we draw something. Alright, let's see what happens. Though, who knows? Maybe they sweep the board here. Nope, they didn't. Alright, well, there was always a possibility. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 for that. In case they have a Mystical Dispute. And I think I'm just going to play Robber of the Rich. And see what happens. But it's still 6 damage, which isn't nothing. Unless they have some way to bounce a creature or whatever here. Okay, they don't. If you did, why would you not do that pre-combat? Or at least at the beginning of combat step. Oh, shark type one. Okay, that's mostly fine, I guess. Ooh, we get a Narset. That's cute. What do we do with that? Alright, well, I'll play a Narset. I don't know if we can, maybe we just find like an Embercleave or something?
No obstacles. Keep an open mind.
Okay, nothing. Would have been land. Goblin land, so I don't know if that's any good for us or not. But the opponent's at 9. They have the ability to make a token now. They can't draw extra cards, at least on the turn, so that's kind of nice. I will leave that, because if they do sweep the board, we at least get Collector into Spellbreaker, and that's kind of nice. So we actually won't use Narset here, because we know it's on top of our library, and we kind of want that. Alright, another Shark. Nope, Omen of the Sea. Alright. Sort of feel like the static... It could be. I don't know. We'll have to see. They didn't leave themselves enough mana to make a token. So they can block 6 damage and take 6. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything good there. We just got an island. So they're just going to go ahead and scry, which makes sense. So if they're at 6 and they go to sweep the board, well, they bottom both. Yeah, even if they sweep here, we know we have a Spellbreaker on top. And that should also be a signal to the opponent that I wasn't willing to use Narset after looking at what's on top, so I already know what's available to us. Yep, we're just gonna play it. And then we get whatever's on top, another land. We got another win against control decks. Oh, this is gross. Why, deck? Why you treat me like this? I'm gonna keep this though, but I'm just gonna be sad about it. I really should go to 5. But I'm not. Let's see what happens. I need to turn my volume up just a little bit. There we go. Well, we didn't get there. A lot of kids now. Yeah, and the problem is, I think there's. Oh gosh, we're just going to game 2. Looks like we're playing. Yeah, we are. I think there's a lot of kids that they see, like Mr. Beast, right, with his like million, well, more than a million. He's got like 20 million or 30 million YouTube subscribers, right? They see Ninja with his like millions of followers on Twitch or whatever. And they think that's just what it is, but it's like, no, there's a lot of extra work that goes into this to make this stuff happen. This is unfortunate. Alright. I'm gonna do this, see if maybe we get lucky and stick a opt or something from the opponent. No, we didn't even get to do anything with it. Fair enough. I do have a favorite card artist. One of the coolest things getting back in Magic. Actually, to be honest, Quentin Hoover always had an interesting spot for me because he was one of the first artists I really interacted with way back on America Online, AOL. And I don't remember why. For some reason, we were in similar chat rooms sharing information, and he had reached out and I learned about a lot of stuff early in Magic through him, actually, which is very interesting. And, you know, he's since passed away, I guess, what, 5 or 6 years ago? Now, we're about to get sharked. At least I think we're getting sharked. But yeah, he was always one of my favorites. But now I know a guy that works with a lot of the artists, so I've sat down, I've had lunch, you know, I've had barbecue with, like, Anson Maddox. Man, I really... no, I'm just doing this. I think after... Man, I feel bad, because if we actually had the mana, I think we could have won that first game. But our hand was so bad. Thanks for the follow there. It was awesome. Ugh, the hands are not cooperating. Alright, well, we're going to keep this one. Out of stubbornness, if nothing else. But yeah, the world's changed, you know? Like, I remember, even as recent as like 7 or 8 years ago, having a talk with, you know, because parents trusted me. They came into the store, their kids came to the store, and they'd want me to talk to them about, like, going to college and this, that, and the other. And I was like, you don't want me to talk to them about that. Because there's a lot of jobs you can do. I mean, I had kids to build some web stuff when they were in high school. You know, like, that kid's going to be able to make a living doing websites for people and tech stuff or whatever. And, like, he can go to a tech school and that dude's, well, I know for sure one of them is already making a 6-figure salary. You know, and like, and he went to a tech school. Like, so I can't, like, I'm not saying that's for everybody. There are some careers where it makes sense, right? You need to go to 8, 9, 10 years of school if you're going to be a doctor or go to law school or whatever. That makes perfect sense. But if you're just like, oh, well, I want you to get a good technical job. It's like, well, then great. We can just save $40,000 of education. Hell, you can save the time that goes into it. That's the other thing. Because in the 6 to 8 years, depending on what some of those careers take, you could be making money during that time at your job and starting a savings and everything else. And then that person's salary won't even eclipse what your earnings were for 6 more years, you know, after they graduate. Slightly older than Mr. Watson. I don't know. I challenge that. I'm over 40, so. Yeah, big chat with my friend who's a lawyer. Dad's uncle lawyers. Should have just been a plumber. Yeah, I know some plumbers that, dude, one of the guys, he makes like, he says if he gets called out on a non-like emergency situation on the weekend, like he could still make 30, 40 bucks an hour sometimes. And he lives in a place where the cost of living isn't even that high. Alright, well, how this pelt collector is going to get sharked, but that's okay. Alright, so we got the opponent down to 8. So that's 4 Clothless activations. Can we survive that long? Fortune Clothless is also gaining us some life, so it gets hard for the opponent to expansion explosion us. 6 months and a bit into the big one. Okay, fair enough. That's fair. That's the thing too, I have to say, I appreciate about Magic though, right? Like, it's a game that you can play virtually forever. Like, it's not like when you see people playing these Fortnite or whatever, where like your muscle memory and Twitch reaction and everything else slows down. Like, you don't have that issue with Magic. Like, some of our best players in Magic are a bit older, which is awesome. Alright, well, you're not going to be able to shark this. You can shark the Spellbreaker. Alright, well, unless they do something big on their turn, they're just going to die to our Clothless. Fair enough. And they're not going to be able to kill us, so we're not worried about them explosioning us for a bunch. And I don't think they have anything that gains a bunch of life, so this should be it. Barring some new tech card I don't know about that these decks started playing, which they might. Couldn't sleep? Well, Ace of Spades. Why don't you meet Ace? Now I have 2, so I have to refer to you as Ace of Spades because I have 2 aces in the channel. I have Ace 81385, and now I have Ace of Spades 1997. Rhythm of the Wild is not bad, but I don't think... Like, my problem is Rhythm of the Wild works if a large chunk of the decks are worried about countering your stuff. If that's not the space we're in, then it's not great. Because more often than not, the turn you cast it, you'd rather there be a threat a lot of the times. That's why I quit playing it. Once the format made a shift, I just didn't go back to it for a while. Alright, so we know the opponent's got Sharks. I mean... Bonecrusher Giant's really kind of bad here. But I would rather have Bonecrusher Giant than Scorching Dragonfires, I think. And I'm thinking I may want to try to sneak in an Embercleave. But that feels greedy. Especially on the draw. But I'm going to do it anyway. Well, I did draw the Embercleave, but with just... Oh, come on, deck. Alright, we're going to keep this because we at least have the Temple. Well, I guess that means the opponent has an opt. We'll see here in a second. Yep, we'll keep that. And let's see what the opponent does here. The good news is we have all the mana we need. Now we just have to draw threats. Unfortunately, we only have access to 2 currently, and there's a good chance... Oh, they didn't have it. So I guess their goal is going to be try to play Growth Spiral here, and then just play the Reclamation next turn. Funny as it is, I was actually campaigning to put Growth Spiral on the ban list, truthfully. Because I think more often than not, that's one of the problem cards. I think if you get rid of Growth Spiral, you really put a lot of those decks on even footing and they're less of a problem. So I tell people, as much as Reclamation is a good card, I don't think Reclamation is the problem itself. I feel like the problem is the existence of like the speed to get it into play and everything else that goes on around it more than the card itself. Oh, they didn't even have anything to play there. What? You didn't even cycle a shark or anything? Whoa. That's true. Lancelot did win the drawing. The PS5 discussion. No, but I did see a cool PS5 trailer today of the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. That thing looks great. Like, I didn't even know that was coming out. I just saw somebody had shared a preview. And man, that was sick. See, what's funny is you think your Night Pack Ambusher is going to survive, but I have things too. I came prepared. And they have enough to get an Uro back here. Yep. Where's the kangaroo shirt? I'll show you here after this game. We're about to lose anyway. We sadly had to throw game 1 away because we couldn't find red mana. Yep. Yep. Eh, bad times. Bad times. Not a lot we can do here. I mean, I guess we just play it. Let it sit here to block an Uro, which is kind of lame-zor, but not a lot we can do. Opponent's got too much life, so we're not going to really kill him from here. And we can play both of these creatures next turn. So even if the opponent goes to 18, we can get in 5, 6, 7, have this back to block. Like, I don't know. Didn't get to see it all for Demon Soul. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, do you have double Scorching Dragonfire? If so, this game's over. Opponent's waiting a long time to resolve their Dragonfire for some reason. I guess they're going to fire. Oh, okay, they have expansion. Alright, cool. GG's. You win, opponent. I have no problem. It was a questionable keep, and we got punished for it in game 1. So we... Alright, well, let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I know this is kind of a weird format, something different to try. But I guess if nothing else, this is kind of just showing you what goes on over on the Twitch stream if you ever get a chance to check it out. Again, we're going to be trying to do that 1,000 subscriber giveaway here next week, I'm hoping. I have the item selected. I'm just figuring out the best method for doing the contest and picking the winners. But again, if you haven't, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Also, so you'll know when the video goes up and you don't miss out on some free giveaways. And that's all I have for you today. We'll see you next time.